These server networks represent a global distribution of compute power, engineered to handle thousands of complex operations simultaneously. Yet there is a significant divide between the capabilities of these networks and how we actually utilize them. Professionals have access to highly autonomous agents like Genspark Claw, but frequently treat them as basic text generators. When a system is specifically designed to browse the web, interact with APIs, and execute code across different platforms, using it for a one-shot document draft ignores its primary architectural strengths. You can identify this misuse through a few specific red flags. If you are using an agent for a simple Q&A, a one-shot draft, or a task where you already know exactly what the output should be, you are underutilizing the technology. Requesting a single block of text from an advanced agent results in a negative ROI. This approach bypasses the system's ability to reason through multi-step workflows. This pattern often starts with a busy professional staring at an empty prompt box, looking for the fastest way to complete a task. This is the result of cognitive friction, the mental effort required to structure a complex delegation, versus the ease of asking a chatbot for a quick, single-paragraph response. An agent is built to absorb that friction. It is a tool designed to navigate ambiguity, utilize external software, and take action across varied systems. Problems arise when a user's desire for a frictionless, typewriter-style output clashes with the agent's multi-layered architecture. Attempting to use a complex agent for a simple writing task often leads to overanalysis. You introduce system friction into a workflow that a standard language model could have handled instantly. While avoiding the upfront effort of prompt design feels faster, it eventually costs you hours of manual data aggregation and synthesis. Proper agent utilization requires treating the system as a junior employee, moving beyond the mental model of a standard software tool. Notice the difference. The left typewriter model uses one input for static text. The right junior hire model takes detailed instructions to research, summarize, draft, and schedule. It independently navigates your email, cloud storage, and databases to complete the sequence. The trade-off involves spending significant time structuring these instructions up front and tolerating the initial ambiguity. That investment eliminates the need for manual tool switching. The agent handles the browsing and comparison tasks that usually consume your afternoon. This efficiency disappears when the same agent is used for a simple data lookup. If a task can be solved with a single, clear prompt in a standard large language model, or LLM, an agent setup is over-engineered. Avoid building complex frameworks for tasks that don't involve unstructured data or multi-step decision-making. Agents justify their complexity only when the task requires navigating through uncertainty and executing across several different tools. This introduces the primary operational advantage of cloud-based agents, asynchronous execution. Once a workflow is assigned, the agent processes thousands of data points completely unattended. Unlike a standard chat interface, tools like Genspark Claw run on dedicated cloud machines. They continue working even after you close your laptop and move on to other tasks. In a housing search, for example, an agent can independently collect listings, filter them by your commute preferences, and summarize the trade-offs. For software development, an agent can research implementation options and draft a technical specification while you focus on high-level architecture. In a financial context, the agent can gather current tax regulations and run scenario comparisons to produce a checklist of action items. Utilizing this power requires moving past the need for the instant, real-time feedback typical of a standard chatbot. In these high-value cases, the document is the automated evidence of the work performed, rather than the initial reason for the prompt. These principles can be distilled into a daily operational rule for choosing your tools. The first filter is simple. Is the task a basic lookup, or do you already know exactly what needs to be in the draft? If the answer is yes, the most efficient path is a standard chatbot and a direct prompt. When the core information is already in your head, bypass the agent to avoid unnecessary setup time. If the answer is no, apply the second filter. Does the task require browsing multiple sources, comparing variables, and taking action? When these conditions are met, you deploy an agent workflow using the junior hire delegation model. Treating AI as a junior employee demands significant, deliberate upfront planning, which can feel taxing when you are busy. However, this cognitive load is the price of entry for reclaiming hours of your time. A successful delegation provides a level of operational clarity that manual research cannot match, moving you directly to the finished result. To increase your productivity, stop viewing AI as a fast typewriter. Embrace the effort of delegation and transform your workflow into an autonomous operation.